What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Born Ballin', and it's summer league time. Let's go. It honestly feels like we have not stopped. Like the finals happened, then the draft, free agency, and now it's summer league. Before we blink, it's gonna be next season. I'm ready. I am ready, honestly. And with the summer league, you know that means overreactions. If we're going off one day, Jalen Johnson better than Magic Johnson off the rip. And then Jalen Green is probably a better scorer than James Harden if we're just going off one day. That's just how it looks right now. But we know we're not going off one day. We know that these careers are built over a long period of time. It takes time. So we're going to look at what was really going on, who was real, what was fake, and we're going to review day one of Summer League. Hit that subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos. Now, I just mentioned Jalen Green, and that's actually where we're going to start off today. He looked marvelous, honestly. 50% from the field, 23 and 5. I said he was a better scorer than Harden. That was a slight joke, but will he get there? Harden didn't look like this good of a scoring prospect from day one. Jalen Green genuinely was a number one pick option, genuinely. Like if the Pistons picked him, you wouldn't be like, oh, what the heck? What are they doing? Nah, he is a scorer, bucket getter, and he will do it on both ends. He showed flashes of that tonight too. That step back, crazy. That step back was clean. He hit it a couple times too. So I like him as a prospect. And his homie Josh Christopher, he looked very solid. Did he force a couple shots? Yes, but would he be Josh Christopher if he wasn't forcing a couple shots? No. So I think you get what you get with him, and I think he showed a solid performance. The Rockets smashed their first round draft picks, their second round draft picks, the whole draft. They did great. Another draft pick they had, Sengun, 15 and 15. It looked like every time I looked up, he was in the right place at the right time. And eventually, it's not just right place, right time. That's just your skill. That's just what you do. You're just smart. You know that meme where Dennis Rodman's like, I got it right here. Yeah, because he studies that. Eventually, when you're just there all the time, that's just your skill. You have a knack for that. That's just what you do. So Sengun, that looks like that's just what he does. He's going to be savvy like that. He talks to the ball on the free throw line too. That's very interesting, something to watch. I'm curious what he's saying to the ball. I don't know. But another guy that's going to be a great contributor for them the next year is a guy who was already a great contributor for them last year. Kmart Jr. is a solid player. It's funny, actually. His dad was like an undersized 4, and now he's like an undersized 3 that plays 4. It's very interesting, and I can't wait to see what he turns into. I think he's going to be a very, very solid role player for them. Honestly, the Houston Rockets got all the role players for their next 5 years. They're going to be good. Now, are they going to have enough stars? KPJ and Jalen Green, one of them got to hit. And I think both of them are going to be really, really good. That's going to be a backcourt to watch for years to come. Now, on the other end, the team they played, the Cleveland Cavaliers had the 3rd pick. And Evan Mobley had 12 and 5. He didn't look crazy offensively, but defensively, he showed he could play in the drop. He showed some perimeter plays. He was very nice, and he was everywhere defensively. Like I said, offensively, he needed to hit that weight room. He needs to grow into his body a little more, get bulkier. Whatever Isaac Okoro doing, he needed to do that. Because Isaac Okoro had 17. He was looking solid on the offensive end. He was looking great on the defensive end, but we know he's going to do that. So the fact that he was looking good on the offensive end is a very, very good sign for them. We will see what the Cleveland Cavaliers do. Jarrett Allen, Sexton, and Garland were at the game, including Mobley and Okoro. That's your starting 5 right there. What y'all gonna do? It's gonna be interesting. The next team we're gonna talk about is the Charlotte Hornets. And they had a couple people that were balling for them. Obviously, we gotta start it off with the guy that didn't get drafted, Gello. He was sniping. Once he hit that first shot, I knew he was gonna ball for the rest of the game. Can't lie. 16 points, 5 of 8 from 3. Yeah, that's a solid performance. If he is going to shoot the ball like that, he's definitely going to have a roster spot. Obviously, his last name being Ball is a great help, but you need to contribute still, and him hitting that shot, they already cut Caleb Martin, so I think they're making a way for him. Kai Jones. Did you see the dunk? I'm going to put it right here right now. wow. He is a monster. He forced a lot of shots, but athletically, through the roof. So as long as you just get him to run, rebound, and roll, because that's all I need my centers to do, he is going to look like a star next year. Don't force him along too heavy. Just get him to get the basic stuff, and he will look great. He's got the touch. The shot was looking a little shaky. It looked a little shaky, but he's got it, I promise. Last but not least, their top pick, James Bouknight. He looked a little hesitant at first. He had the Kobe's on. He looked a little nervous, but he came into his own as the game progressed. Honestly, he surprised me on the defensive end. How locked in he was, how engaged he was and active. He wanted it on both ends. So seeing that was very, very nice. He had some great blocks. He had some great passes too. He's going to come along. He's going to be a little bit of a project, so I wouldn't put all my chips into him early. I wouldn't even, if he wasn't even on an all-rookie team this year, I wouldn't even be surprised. But he could still be one of the 5 best players from this draft. I think he's that good. He has that much talent. And when you're that athletic, sky's the limit for you, literally. Now, the team they were playing had no rookies on it. But Michael Beasley was out there, so I got to give a shout-out to Michael Beasley because he was getting buckets. Next, we're going to talk about the number 4 pick, Scottie Barnes. He was very, very, very active for the Toronto Raptors. 18, 10, and 5, and he was doing it on both ends. He was getting blocks. He was getting steals. He was making lays. He was making plays, too. Do the Toronto Raptors have better scouts than NBA Twitter? Find out next time on Born Ballin'. But right now, that's looking like a for sure because I know people were questioning the pick on draft night, but he's really looking special off of one day. I can't lie. That size, when you have that size and that fluidity, the world is really your oyster. It's just how are you going to develop your game? And he's got the energy and the passion, and it looks like he wants it that bad. So we are going to see a guy that they already have signed, Malachi Flynn. You know he's a hooper. 23 points, some light. That's just what he does. Scottie Barnes. We're going to have to keep an eye out for him. That might have been the steal of the draft, high key. Now, the team they played, the New York Knicks, they didn't have too many young players. Quickly and Toppin, of course, were out there. Quickly, very, very nice. 18, very solid. But Toppin had 24. Is he going to take a leap this year? We will have to see. Offensively, we know what he could do. We already saw it at Dayton 2 years ago before he got drafted. That's why he got drafted so high. It's that defense. It's that lateral movement. Will he be able to hold down some perimeter players and hit that shot consistently? We will have to see, but a very, very nice first day showing for Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickley, who I have a lot of stock in. Don't sleep on Quickley. He could be an all-star one day. All right, now before we move into the Pistons and the Thunder, I got to give a quick shout out to some of the Hawks and the Celtics. I didn't get to catch that game, but they had some players that were hooping out there. Jalen Johnson had a light 2010. Sharif Cooper has 6 assists. Peyton Pritchard was 7 of 15 from 3. He's going to be a solid player next year for them, a very solid player off the bench. He might even be a 6th man of the year candidate next year. Carson Edwards, will he be able to get them some minutes? He had 17 points. He was filling up the stat sheet. And Romeo Langford, big shout out to them, all getting buckets. All right, lastly, let's talk about the Thunder and the Pistons game. It started off with a great slam by Josh Giddey, but then like 3 plays later, he twisted his ankle and he missed the rest of the game. Prayers up for him. Hopefully he comes back soon. Now, that opened up more opportunities for Theo Maledon, who finished with 15, 5, and 11. I don't know how to feel about him. Sometimes I'm like he's too small, but he was not looking small out there today. He was looking bulky. Small, I mean like short-wise. But he makes plays. And then I watch him and I'm like, he's a baller. Why do I tell myself he's not a baller? 15, 5, and 11 and not even a regulation game? That's great in a regulation game. They're playing 10-minute quarters. So he's a hooper. They have a solid player in him. Trey Mann did not look all outstanding today, but the lateral explosiveness is there. So he's going to put it together eventually. Be patient with him. Now for the Pistons, off the rip, the best thing for the Pistons, Cade and Killian can play next to each other. No matter, they took the L today, yes, but they play fluidly off of each other. Killian could bring the ball up sometimes. Cade's first basket was off a Killian assist. They can both play off ball. They can both play on ball. Now, Cade is a better spot-up shooter right now, but Cade has the stroke. He can get it there. They already have a sniper in Saddiq Bey who is out there with them. He's going to be a very, very important piece for their team next year. He's a very versatile defender. He can hit that three with so much consistency. He's going to hoop for them. Even though they took this L, I still have the Pistons making the play-in. The cohesion they're going to build over the years, starting from the Summer League. They have their leader at the Summer League. Their next two players, besides Jeremy Grant, at the Summer League as well. It is going to be a great, great mixture for them. Now, that first day of Summer League was very, very fun. I can't wait to see what happens today. Jalen Suggs plays today. Who else plays today? Hit me up and tell me who you guys are excited to see today, honestly. And don't be too quick to judge these players. You know they always say, oh, once the game slowed down for me, I was able to ball more. You feel me? So let the game slow down for them. And then let's see where they grow from there. If you guys have any questions, comments, or want to see me talk about anything in particular, you can hit me up in the comments or hit me up on Twitter at @born_baller_. My personal Twitter is at CHEEZ_0. And until next time, it's deuces and love.